Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Gigi, and I'm not on the track this morning. I thought I was going to get on the track this morning. It was cloudy. I got up this morning. I was in my prayer time. I was reading our daily bread, and I didn't realize it was raining until I came outside on the porch. I said, okay, I'm going to just sit right down here and just enjoy this day, this morning, because guess what? This is the day that the Lord has made, and we're rejoicing. We're glad in it. Like my husband said, we're going to get another glass of water. And sometimes it's just nice to sit here and just marvel at God's beauty and creation, watching the birds go by. I just saw a red bird. I hardly ever see a red bird. I think they're called cardinals that flew by and so forth. And then I saw some birds. You know, every time, sometimes when I do these gym nuggets, the Lord just sends a visual for me. Of course, the red bird went by, and then I saw the flock of birds flying together, and it always amazed me when the birds fly in that V shape. And they were even doing it in the rain. That's not pouring down rain. This is steady drizzle. But they were flying in that V shape. You got that bird in the center, and they were all together. And then the verse, one of the verses, and I got a lot of favorite verses, but I like this verse in Psalm 133 and 1. In the King James Version, it says, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." But then when I read the NIV, I liked because they switched the word for brethren. It says how good and pleasant it is for it is when God's people, and that includes male and female, live together in unity. You know, watching the flock of birds, and they were doing this thing together and going forward. And I think when it comes to us working together, I think the body of believers should be the example. When it said there how good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. And my gym nugget today is this is how we do it together. When I say we, I'm talking about the body of believers. Yesterday I was listening to a radio show called The Pastor's Study, and they were talking about an issue that a lot of us, especially in the black community, are familiar with. It's just this thing about us as a black people working together and doing things together so that we can move forward in society, economically, health wise, everything. And when I was reading the Daily Bread this morning, they were talking about how at this one occasion they had these teams. They were going to run a four-legged race, so you had three people together, and they tied their legs and knees together, and they had to race, tied together, and so when the whistle blew, and the teams lunged forward, and some of them fell, and they were stumbling all over each other. Some of them just got frustrated because they just couldn't do it together. But there was one team, they didn't start off right away. They came up with a strategy. They talked about how they were going to move together in this race. And guess what? They, when they were willing to cooperate, and they just took it step by step, and that's what they named theirs this morning, step by step. They cooperated, and they crossed the finish line together. See, and it says here, it says, living for God within the community of believers in Jesus often feels as frustrating as trying to move forward during a four-legged race. We often stumble when interacting with people who hold different opinions from us. I just, when you think about back in the day, especially in the black community. It started in the church. People coming together, learning how to cooperate together. And I still believe that we can do it, but I think the body of the believers, the church, should be the ones that lead that. Even during the civil rights movement, people came together in churches, like with Dr. Martin Luther King, Tulsa, Oklahoma, uh, when we were that economically strong community. It started in the church. It started with the believers, and we need to get back to that. See, we're even divided in our churches. That's why we can't come together. I know how people say, you got, I know in one community, um, in the Hampton Roads area that I'm very familiar with, tried to get the people to come together to be part of a mentorship program for our students. And I counted it in this small community. There were like 23 churches, and we reached out to those 23 churches, and only one came to our aid. And so here we go again. We need to come together. I would like to see it one day where we can sing the song like in Montel Williams' song. This is how we do it. We as the body of the believers, especially in the church community, we can lead the way to show how we can come together to strengthen our people in all areas of our lives. I was looking at how we came together at our church on these Silent Sundays. We're gonna help each other even in our bodies to be more healthier. We can come together financially and lead the way to help our families and our communities to grow economically. But we've got to do it together. We've got to do it together. And I really believe that we can do this thing. That's my gem nugget today. We can say one day, this is how we do it. We do it together. We do it as one. We do it cooperating. We don't want to have this crab mentality. When one gets up there, we're going to pull the other down. But this is how we do it. We can do it together. And that's in all areas of our lives. Oh my goodness. I'm going to just say it. Let me just read this NIV version again. How good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. I notice how, you know, what what we might say, people that's in the world can come together, and groups come together and succeed. You have different ethnicities come together and collaborate. But first, we have to do it among ourselves so that we can move forward. That we can move forward. And again, I think it starts with the body of believers. All right. This is how we do it, or this is how we can do it, and we can do it together. All right, all right, all right. Y'all have a good day. Y'all stay dry. Hopefully, tomorrow I'll be back on the track, but if not, I'm really enjoying this morning sitting here, just looking. I think I'll sit out here just a little bit longer and enjoy this morning. But this is how we can do it. We can do it together. Bye bye.